Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to see the input-output decisions. It is in the second unit. Sorry, it is in the third unit. After completing the production function, now we have to know what is the relation between the input and the output. For that, we are having an input-output model. As far as this input-output decision is concerned, first we should know about the production. Production is a process or method of transforming the available inputs into the required output, that is converting the raw material into the final product. But the output of one sector or an industry may be the input for the other sector or industry due to interdependence of the economy. Suppose you are producing something in the agriculture, that will be the input for the one particular industry. The final product of that industry may be the raw material for the another industry. So in order to make a right decision of the production process, not only in micro level, but in a national level, Professor Wesley Leontief, what is the author name? Professor Wesley Leontief has given a new model in order to explain the relation between the input and output, how that decision is taken. Famously, it is known as input-output analysis, which is considered as a best model for input-output decision, that too in the managerial economics. So this is the way that I am going to explain. Please listen carefully. Who have given this particular model? Professor Wesley Leontief. For that, he assumed certain things. There is three sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. So they that primary sector is nothing but the agriculture. The secondary sector is the manufacturing. All the household, that is service sector, the labor force is also taken in the consideration. So considering the economy of interdependent sector, the agriculture industry, imagine, and the following hypothetical value have been framed. You can see in the first column agriculture, manufacturing, and labor. In that particular say, input for agriculture itself and input to the industry and final product, that is household and government, is going to consume directly. So if you add input of agriculture, input of industry, and final product, that will be a total output from the agriculture. Similarly, for manufacturing, input for agriculture, input for the industry itself, and final consumption. So based on this particular way, this is the way he explained. In table 1, the first two rows represent the share of input of the total output of agriculture sector and manufacturing sector respectively. The third row represents the primary factor, labor, that is first agriculture, second one is industry, third one is the labor. So in society, the total is 70 units. It is in the lakhs. Okay. If you want, I can show again. Labor force is 20 and 50 years in lakhs. So I'm going to explain that particular table. Total output is 240 units. In that 240 units, the agriculture itself, they are using 30 units as its own input. Whether cultivation முடிஞ்ச அப்புறம் விதை நெல்லுன்னு எடுத்துப்பாங்க பாத்தீங்களா, அது வந்து agriculture, அந்த farmers use பண்றது. So agriculture itself they are using. Final product is 40. Household and government is consuming that particular thing for ration. So rest of the 170 is distributed in the industry. Similarly, for manufacturing, out of 150 output, 80 units is consumed directly. The rest of the 70 is shared as 45 and 25 from agriculture and industry. The labor force is divided into two categories. Totally 70 lakh laborer is employed. 20 lakh is employed in agriculture and 50 lakh employed in the industry. I am giving a hypothetical value in order to explain that, because based on this only I am going to give the equations. The same thing I will read out, you can understand. The first row total is agricultural output amounting to 240. Have you seen? See, 240. That out of that 240, 40 units are go to directly for final consumption. See, final demand is 40. Out of 240, before that column is 40. So what is the remaining? It is 200. Out of 200, 170 units are used by industry and remaining 30 used by the agriculture. Similarly, for industry, there will be 80 units. Out of 80, out of 150, 80 units has been used. Remaining 70 is divided into 45 and 25. So this is the way we have the matrix. Based on this value, keep it in mind. Now we are going to interpret. How we have to interpret? The total output column shows the overall input of the labor and output of the commodity. That is the last column. The first column indicates the input and cost of agriculture. 30 units agriculture, 45 units of industry, and 20 units of labor. Whether you want to see that particular table again, 30, 45, 20. Have you seen? Similarly, coming to the second column, here totally 170 units. And that 170 units, 25 units for manufacturing, 50 units labor inputted. Definitely that outlay will be 150 units of output. The final demand consumption after total output, first we have to subtract the final demand, and the remaining will be distributed to the industry and agriculture. If that is the case, finally, if you interpret that particular one, the aggregate output 240 crores, being input 95 crores only can able to earn. In the other hand, the manufacturing 150 crores has been inputted and 245 crores will be the profit. So agriculture is running short of, it is incurring loss, but industry is of thing. How we can get this value using a matrix? So first, what we have to do, suppose take a particular thing industry. There are n number of industries. So in a column and row, one side it is purchase input, the other side is the sale, how it is selling that. So n number of industries, X11 means the industry X, first industry giving input for first industries, well, their own use they are using. Similarly, the first column X12, X13, X14, like that, X1n, that can be explained as capital X1, summation of X1j. Similarly, for the second industry, X21, X22, X23, X24, like that, up to X2n. So it is treated as capital X1. It is summation of X2j, that is second industry j commodities. So likewise, up to n industry we have to make it. So here what we have to say, one side is sales, other side is purchase. So X1, X2, X3, Xn, these are all the input received by the respective industries. How to get the sales? The summation of X1j, X2j, X23j, X4j is up to Xnj. So that one will be the sales. So I'm just giving that value I'm going to input. This is the matrix equation comparing the input and output. Here input is a purchase, output is a sales. So before getting to the model, he have given three assumptions. Because these three you should write what they are given, you have to write, because you cannot write on your own. These three you have to mug up and write. Each industry produce only one homogeneous commodity. So consider there will be a sugar industry, there will be a plastic industry, there will be another food industry. So one industry producing one product. Keep it in mind, because it's only assumption. Each industry uses a fixed input ratio and produce the output. They are not changing. Constantly this much of input is taken for their own reproduction. Then the third one is production of every industry is subject to constant return to scale. There are three return to scale. One is increasing return to scale, decreasing return to scale, constant return to scale. That is why this particular assumption is there. A fixed proportion of input is taken by each industry in order to produce a fixed output. Then only the model can be explained. So based on this particular input-output matrix, we can able to give a particular framework. I have given Aij, Aj. Similarly, for each column there will be one input and output. We may say that matrix will be A equal to Aij. How it can be explained? This is the way. So instead of saying purchase and sales, now we are saying input and output. There will be n industry. So input of each industry 1, 2, 3 up to n industry. Similarly, output 1, 2, 3 up to n industry. So how the relation can be explained? Suppose A11 means the first industry input to the first industry output. It will combine. Similarly, for example, A33 means the third industry input, it will give the third industry output. Suppose A38 means first third industry's input and eighth industry output. I hope you understand. So this particular matrix can be given in a equation model, summation of with a limit 1 to n, aij equal to less than 1, because it is in a fraction. It ranges from 0 to 1. It is in a ratio because input and output we are giving, where the j is nothing but 1 to n. You understand? Both I and j are 1 to n. Using this particular matrix, they have given what will be the input relation. X1 will be A11 X1 plus A12 X2, A13 X3. Similarly, A81 will be 8X3. How many industries? N industries. So A1N into Xn. That D denotes the final demand. That is the third last column that we have made. That particular we have to add. So when we equate this particular in a single form, summation of I equal to 1, the equation will be A1N into X1 plus N power N. This is the arithmetic equation. This is for the first industry. Suppose if you make the same thing for n industries, then it is easy for us to say these are the equation. This equation you should write because if you understand that particular thing, it is easy to compile. So how it is being converted, it is easy to say you write like this particular matrix notion. A1 minus A11 X1, A12, A13 minus up to A1N. Similarly, for n industries that you have to write. Then multiply with the capital X1, X2, X3 up to Xn. When you multiply these two, the final product equal to D1, D2, D3, that particular thing. This is the way that we should represent the matrix. How it can be easily write? A equal to a function of Aij, small aij. So the Leontief has given a particular equation. Output x equal to 1 minus a power 1 into d. Here d is the final output, a is the actual matrix, that is how the input and output is get related. I is that particular industry's index. With this we can easily, here the model is only thing what you have to mention, you have to complete all three tables. First one, you should give one hypothetical value, whichever value you want you can give. Then in table 2 you should write n number of industries, that x1 x2 x2 should be exact. Last column total sales and last row total purchase so x1 x2 this one you should extract. And finally put this particular coefficient matrix. It is for open model. Input one side and output one side. It's nothing. Instead of x you are putting as small a. And finally you should give this particular matrix. Then when you write the equation x equal to I minus a power minus 1 into d, that is called input output model of the Leontief. Definitely this question will be in section C. What you have to do, go through once or twice. When we do a case study, then you can understand. The thing is, what he has given you have to write. In higher classes it is easy to suppose if I take a particular balance sheet of a company, I can easily apply this particular formula, I can explain. But in this level theoretically we are studying that. So all of you go through this particular thing. I will share this PPT, go through that. Tomorrow we will have the discussion. Ask your doubt and I will explain numerically. Okay.